guys, Deb Schroeder. It's Thursday. It's almost 5. Oh, 5 o'clock right now. Almost 5, it is 5. Maybe it's another time where you're at, but it's time for sunset flow. So I've got a lot of energy today, so I thought maybe we could do a more fun, challenging class tonight. And as always, do what you can. Don't stress, do what you can. Enjoy yourself. So key tonight is to have fun. That's really, I want to have fun. Look around. Are you alone? I'm alone. I have a dog. Hi, Stella. Other than that, I'm alone. It's really unusual to teach a yoga class to nobody. But we can do this. I hope somebody's going to be out there sometime watching this. Probably watch it later, hopefully, please. All right. So let's begin today, right, by just starting in a standing position. We'll actually bring our arms down by our side. You can have both feet underneath your hips. You're going to take those hips, right, stack them over the feet, lift the crown of the head. Right, we'll take the shoulders back, lower them down, and just do a gentle hug of that low belly in. Take a breath. Exhale it all the way out. Right, do that a couple more times. Right, if anyone comes online, you want to give me a little shout out, say hi, tell me that you're there. Tell me if you like my music. 2 more breaths. All right, let's start to wiggle those fingers. All right, we're going to take our thumbs, we're going to tap them to our shoulders and lift our arms all the way up. Reaching up to the ceiling, put a bend in the knees and just start to reach one arm higher than the other. All right, you can inhale as you reach up. Start to match breath with movement. I have a funky station of music on tonight. I'm hoping it comes through for me. Fingers are crossed. All right, let's come back to center. Straighten those knees, lift up through those fingers. Find a nice big breath to accompany that. And on your exhale, let's go for a swan dive. Put the bend in the knees, bring the belly to the thigh. We'll stay here for just a little bit. If you have your blocks, use your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can always bend the knees more and take the hands down. Give the head a shake. On an inhale, find that half lift. Let's take our shoulders towards the ears, pull them up to the ceiling and slide them back. Hug the belly in, really support the long line of the spine. On your exhale, let it go. Relax your body onto those legs, drape the arms. We're gonna toggle. That's one of the words you'll hear me say often, toggle. Back and forth between the two. Right, and we try not to rush. So full breath in, find that extension. And then on the full breath out, whoosh, we really come into that nice state of relaxation and no muscle contraction. Inhale and exhale. Let's go one more round. Inhale and exhale. Good, take your hands to your thighs. Let's go ahead and lift through the heart. Keep the spine flat as we switch ourselves into a chair pose. All right, arms in front, arms up, arms here. Just no shoulders by the ears. All right, sit a little deeper in your chair. Maybe a little deeper. I did say tonight's class is going to be challenging, right? So a little deeper. Of course, you always go to your level. I'll stay at my level. That might be less than your level. Your level might be more than my level. Right, on your next inhale, go ahead and stand tall. Let's do a side bend. Grab that left wrist, go over to the right. While we're here, can we have a little bit of fun? We're going to pull forward through that right shoulder. So we're just going to kind of tilt our heart up, our eyes, our face up a little. And then we'll come back to center and go to the other side. As we take it over, as you are putting a little twist, if it doesn't feel good, as always, pay attention to that over my words. Your body over my words. Right, let's come back to center. We're gonna go for some cactus elbows. And I want those cactus elbows to be at shoulder height. And I want you to pull them slightly back behind your body. So the heart is gonna come forward. You're gonna suck the belly up and in. And then on an exhale, bring your elbows forward. Put a bend in the knee, a little bow. Inhale, stand tall. Elbows wide, heart forward. Exhale, bend those knees. Keep going. Inhale and exhale. Wake up those legs. One more time. Stand tall. Hands are going to go up towards the ceiling. Open the arms to swan dive. Take a half lift. Inhale. Exhale and hug. Find your chair pose. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to swing those arms down. And now reach your arms forward. Push through those feet and rise. Wide elbows. Heart lifts up. And exhale. Bring your elbows together. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Swan dive. Half lift. And hug. Chair pose. Arms swing down. Whoosh. And then rise. Push through the feet. Get tall. Elbows. Right? Bring those elbows forward. And then lift the arms up. We're going to go one last round here. Swan dive. Find that half lift. And hug. Chair pose. Arms sweep down. Whoosh. And then rise. Come all the way up. Exhale, elbows. And inhale. Good, hands back in front of heart center, blink the eyes, right, check in. We're starting to move our body more. And if this practice is not gonna suit you tonight, if you're starting to get into it and you're like, I don't like it, you could always do another one. Lots of things out there you could do. All right, let's go ahead, inhale, lift, but join me if you can. Swan dive, right, pick and choose what you wanna do. Half lift and hug. Can we grab those blocks? Right, reach that right foot back. We're going to keep the knee off the earth. We're going to take our hands to our left thigh for a moment, and we're going to position our head over our shoulders, over our hips. There might be a slight arch in the back. I've got some weird music on. It's got some words talking. Don't worry too much. Let's go back to those cactus elbows. Inhale. And then exhale. Your legs need to be nice and steady as you bring your forearms together. And it's a little bowing down, a little rounding of the back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. You can audit a channel, but then they might just play a new song. I'm hoping we're going to like this channel. This song's called She's a Lady. It can't be too bad, right? One more round. Inhale. And exhale. All right, let's go into Warrior Two. Sweep that right arm down. Take it back. Left arm is forward. Right, you're going to point your left toes forward. Put a big lunge into that. Really check it out. Oh, let's get our arms straight. Right, arms extend from the shoulder. On an inhale, turn the palms up. Lift the hands, straighten that front leg, and exhale. Do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Can you hear it? They're talking about the lady. Last one. That back arm is going to swing down. And as you do, come off that back heel. So you're into that runner's lunge or that crescent lunge, right? Again, inhale. Exhale, pull your elbows back and just stay here for a moment. Feel like you're pressing down on a big puppet chair, right? With the big arms, sort of a little higher than you're normally used to. Take one more breath. Back heel should be off the ground for extra challenge. And on the exhale, grab those blocks. We're going to step forward, belly to thigh, grab opposite elbow, give yourself a nice little spinal decompression. If you want to give that wiggle through the head, through the shoulders, taking some of the pressure off of the spinal column. One more breath. right, from here, let's go ahead and blink our eyes. We're gonna grab a hold of our blocks, separate the belly from the thigh, and reach that left leg back. So we're starting in a high runner's lunge, which is called a crescent lunge. You can take your hands to your thighs, and then go ahead and lift your arms all the way up. And so here we are. Stability is so important. We're facing to the front edge of our mat. Our back heel may be lifted, but our legs are turned on, and both legs together are what holds you strong. Take a breath. On the exhale, elbows come back. Right, inhale. So we're kind of reversing the breath. Inhale, we get to bow, exhale. And if you prefer to do the other breath, do it. That's what's so great is we all have choices, right? We all have the choice to follow somebody else's cue, or make our own way. I've already forgotten which breath I'm using, so now I think I'm doing inhale here, exhale. I think the key is as long as you're breathing, as I almost fall. Falling's okay, as long as you're breathing. Last time. Good, from here we're gonna take it into a warrior two. So I want you to lift up that top arm, that's your left hand. As the back heel comes to the earth, lunge through that front knee and turn the chest to the side of your mat. All right, keep your knee open. All right, reach long through the hands, right at shoulder height. As you take a breath in, straighten that front leg, lift the hands, and exhale. Okay, inhale. And it's a beautiful thing to sync up breath and movement, and to be able to travel at your own pace, whether it's faster or slower, right? We all have a slightly different little beat inside of us.
On stage,
let's go it again. Inhale.
they're all waiting for you.
One more. All right, here's that coming out of the pose. As we transition out, we're gonna drop that back hand and we're gonna spin off that back heel. We're gonna bring that hand forward and then pull back and just stay here. Big papa chair. Heart is lifted. Legs are quivering, mind searching there. Take another breath. All right, from here, let's go ahead and take our hands to our blocks, step forward into that nice bent knee forward fold. Woo! Grab that opposite elbow. Give the head a nice shake as long as you feel stable on your feet. All right, from here, I want you to look forward and take your hands down. Can you walk your feet back into plank pose? So it's a way, reach long back, yeah? Hands under shoulders, put them there. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. If you want your knees to go down first, you might put a knee support there. If you want to challenge yourself, keep your knees off the earth. Let's go down in one piece. Either way, you try to keep from your hips to your head in one piece. Breathe in. On the exhale, I kind of rise up on my toes and then bend elbows, keep them close by your sides and lower down. Inhale, do that big open chest cobra. Pinch your elbows in by your side and exhale, let it go. I want you to push the earth away. Let's go into a child's pose. You will always see me grab my knee pillow when I can. In this child's pose, we explore our side body. So give yourself permission. All right, get funky. You know, these days can get to us, right? These days of isolation, these days of uncertainty and bad news. Woo! We got to keep going, right? We got to keep trucking on. We got to be prepared for when this is over. So we got to keep ourselves strong. Let's reach our hands forward. Downward facing dog. Let's go. Push those heels into the earth. Right, you can pedal it out. You can sway your hips from side to side. Right, if you're a down dog veteran, enjoy that stretch you get in your long spine, in your side body. Right, the entire back line is getting this beautiful stretch. Our hips are the highest thing on us and we're, right, pulling those heels to the earth, or we're keeping a bend to make sure the spine stays long. Check in with your shoulders. They can get cranky. We don't want crankiness. All right, as we look back at our feet, I want you to lift up your right foot. All right, on the exhale, can you bring it underneath your body? And you're gonna shift yourself. It's halfway in between a plank pose and that down dog. Knee's gonna come underneath and you're gonna suck it up into the chest like a torpedo on a boat. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, bring it under and exhale. Woo. Suck it up. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Now let's plant that foot down between the hands, spin the back heel, go into that warrior two. We've already been here once today, and we're just gonna keep flowing back into reverse warrior. And I want you to reach down your back leg with your left hand and reach up with your right hand. Good, straighten that front leg, breathe. And then we're doing a slow transition to our triangle pose. What I want you to do is keep your hips centered, don't cock the hips back as you go. So it's almost like someone's holding your hips with their hands, imaginary hands. Good. Now my right hand is only going to about the top of the shin. Tuck your hips underneath you, make sure your left hand is reaching up, and then as you start to slide that hand down, as long as your hips stay underneath you, well, you can take your hand all the way to the earth, or keep it where it was. Remember, this is fun, challenging class. Challenge yourself within reason. Keep it fun. Take one more breath. Let's look down at the big toe. From here, I want you to reach your left hand forward. And once your hands get to the earth, I want you to pop up that back heel. And I want you to do, I'm gonna use my blocks. This is the benefit of blocks. It just gives you a little bit more stability and some space between your body and that thigh. And we're gonna just zoom up our legs. Zoom, zoom. Watch out if you have something on the mat. Zoom, zoom, and you're gonna try to switch legs. We're gonna do this a couple of times. Have a little fun with it. Take a breath in, get a little bouncy, and let's go. Right? Be careful, you don't have to take that foot all the way back. You gotta get some height in the middle. Good, let's go ahead and make our way back into downward facing dog, so it doesn't matter which leg you stopped on. It doesn't matter. Down dog. Again, moving in your down dog. So we're not just trying to fit ourselves into this static photo of the pose, right? We resemble the pose, and then we add our own uniqueness, our own flow. All right, let's come to center. Inhale, left foot is gonna lift. On the exhale, torpedo. So that knee comes underneath and you suck it up. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, the body does rock forward. Shoulders over hands, right? Inhale. And exhale, that foot is gonna go down between the hands. Spin the back heel, rise into that warrior two, strong, and then just keep going, reverse. Stay here with the knee bent for a moment. Palm facing forward, palm facing side, palm facing back. Does it really matter? Straighten that front leg. Hold your hips still and let's go. So it's almost like you feel like someone's lifting you up. Feel that lift in the torso, that nice support there in the center, and start moving into triangle pose. Once you're here, check in, hand right below the knee, and then decide, this might be an awesome place to stay. Maybe you don't need to go any further down. Maybe you just want to go an inch down. Long neck. My breath is coming in pretty quickly. Right, so I will be doing some mouth breaths just to get rid of some of the heat. One more breath. Put a bend into that front knee. Bring that top arm forward. Pop up the back heel. You're in the runner's lunge. Grab a hold of those blocks. Second chance, right? Isn't it nice to have a second chance? So now again, we're gonna get to zoom up the hips. If you didn't like this the first time, second chance may not do you any favor. So be careful, be mindful of your choices. Right? Doesn't matter where we stop, how we stop, because we're going into downward facing dog. Right, from this downward facing dog, and I just want you to find yourself stretching from your hands to your hips. I want your ears in between your arms if possible. I want your shoulder blades sliding up to your hips, and just create this long ski slope of the back. Last breath. Oh, we'll come down onto the knees. You can sweep the hands back behind you. You can take your forehead or your temple to the ground. Big soft elbows, whoosh. Right, is your heart beating faster? Mine is. And it seems like no matter how much you can prepare, you're not always all the way prepared, because I have some ceiling fans in this room. I have 3 of them, and not one of them is on. And I'm over here like, huh, that would be nice if those ceiling fans were on. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and take our hands down underneath our chest. I'm gonna rock a little bit farther forward to come tuck my toes. Get a little wide though. Swing your heels in, take it into that Malasana pose. Am I almost off camera? Okay, Malasana pose. Anyone with a meniscus tear, anybody with some arthritis in the knees, please be mindful. We're having fun tonight. We're not trying to cause distress. Right, from here, really push open those knees. Again, if that feels good. Right hand is gonna drop down towards the ground. Inhale, left arm is gonna lift up, and you're just gonna allow the heart to follow the fingers up. Get a little twist. And exhale, hands back in front of heart center. Let's switch sides. Left hand goes down, inhale, right hand lifts up. And exhale. That was pretty fun. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. All right, so the key to standing up properly is to really engaging the core and the legs. If this is too much for the knees, take your hands down and do a forward fold instead of coming all the way up. So the challenge I like here is to get really slow when it feels like I want to go fast. So take it to that point where you just go like, holy Toledo, or another word, substitute, whatever you want, and just slowly go up. The back is not rounded. I'm not collapsing in the pelvis, sucking up and in, and then getting tall. Woo, shake it out through the arms, turn your toes forward. Good, let's bring in some more breath. Inhale, arms out wide, lift up, and exhale. Again, inhale, and exhale. One more time. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of a challenge by rolling ourselves down one vertebra at a time and then walking our hands forward till we're in plank pose. Are we ready? Tuck the chin. You could get there any way you want. You don't have to follow along. How do you round down? You gotta bend your knees. If you keep your knees straight, it is almost impossible to have mobility, this flexibility in the spine. Almost impossible. Once we get here now, we do want to activate. So pull your hips back, draw your head forward, just like you would in a half lift, and start taking your hands to the front edge of your mat. All right, I'm gonna wiggle my feet back. I'm gonna pull my shoulders away from my ears. Be strong in the fingertips, take a breath. And on the exhale, guide yourself down. Knees could go first, and then the rest of the body. Inhale, open for that cobra. Pinch the elbows in, exhale. Push the earth away, go into that child's pose. Swing the hands back by the feet. As the arms circle the body, just really feel that embrace. Whew. Right, this embrace is very important to us right now. The sense of touch, the sense of connection that we're used to getting in high doses, even if it's just from strangers, it's just not happening. right, let's take another breath. I'm going to take my hands right in front of my knees and I'm going to push myself up. So sitting like this might be too much as well. So again, do what you can. I want to just take a moment to slow it down ever so slightly. We are still going to do some more standing poses. So if you want to do a little bit more challenging stuff, it's coming. All right, but let's just take a moment to really connect. Sometimes it takes us expending the energy to get a little bit more vulnerable, right? Kind of taking off that outer layer. Right, so as we inhale, let's bring our hands to our forehead. As we exhale, our hands are just going to come down to our thighs and make their way forward on the mat. And you're going to plant your elbows down and just bow the forehead to the earth. It doesn't have to touch the ground. On the inhale, can you please tuck your tail, tuck your belly, and draw backward through that core. And hands are going to come back to heart center. Inhale, lift the hands. On the exhale, you just slowly trail those hands down your body and take the forearms to the mat, tip forward, empty the breath completely. On an inhale, tuck the tail, pull the belly button in, and it's almost like your fingers are being dragged back. And then you find an exhale to move the hands in front of hearts. Let's do one more round. Inhale, lift, and exhale. Inhale, coming back, and exhale. All right, are we ready? Let's go ahead and take ourselves downward facing dog. Let's have just a little bit of fun. I want you to walk your feet farther forward so you're in a relatively small or short downward facing dog. It doesn't mean I want you to round or tuck your tail. We still want to keep that nice crisp hip crease and that the hips are, the tailbone is the apex of the pose, the highest thing on you. But while we're walking our feet in a little closer, first of all, you get your heels down. And then what you can do is challenge your shoulders. So if this is a shoulder challenge and that's not for you, don't do it. So the right hand is going to reach to the outside of the left ankle or calf. And then now I want you to shift your hips back over towards the right. Strengthen up through that left arm. Pull the scapula tip up towards the hips and take a couple breaths. Maybe even shift your weight back a little bit to make sure that the spine is not rounding. Chest is coming towards thighs. Now if you're an over flexible person and your chest is actually getting close to those thighs, you don't need to go so much. Take one more breath. And then we gently put that arm back. Let's keep going because we're already here. So switch. Left hand to the outside of the right ankle. Shift your hips back to the left a little bit. Pull into your heels. Lift up through your hips. Heart towards knees and breathe. Right, think about that right arm, that right shoulder pulling up towards the hips. Really stable through that one remaining arm that's holding you up. All right, replace the hand, walk the feet back a little bit. Inhale, lift your right foot all the way up. On the exhale, you're gonna bring that knee, suck it up into the grass, and then put it down. As you spin the back heel, we're gonna go warrior one. So the foot tracks off a little bit to the left, toes are at a diagonal, and inhale, reach out wide, strong through the legs. And as you lift all the way up into your warrior one, how you're gonna know if your stance is too long is if your back heel's not reaching. If your stance is too short, your front knee is way past your ankle. So just take that little check. All right, you're facing forward. You can have a bend in the elbows. As a matter of fact, let's go for our I Dream of Jeannie arms. Can you do it? I just loved her home. She had that beautiful bottle with the pink cushions. And then we can take our arms out here and do a little walk like an Egyptian. Was it like this? Walk like an Egyptian. And then we're gonna take our hands back behind us. Interlace those fingers. Right, when we use arm movement, we're just distracting ourselves. working out those legs. And we're gonna go humble warrior. Humble warrior, you keep your hands interlaced behind you, use your legs for stability, and you're gonna feed your right edge to the inner thigh. Right, your hands don't purposefully need to go up higher, right, but don't let them sag down by your back. Push into your back heel even more. Reach the crown of head forward, keep that neck long. One more breath. Now we're gonna come back up. Stay in that humble warrior hands or the chest expansion hands. Really use those legs, sweep the arms. Inhale, let's go. Good. On the exhale, I want you to melt like little raindrops falling down. I don't know about where you live, but we've been having lots of those little raindrops. Inhale again, sweep the arms forward, and exhale. Are your legs getting a wee tired? Let's do one more. Inhale, and exhale. Good. You can grab your blocks. I'm going to keep the knee bent to do that, but once I have the blocks, I'm going to change my legs into pyramid, straightening up the front leg, bringing the back foot forward. So shortening the stance. And now for me personally, I like that back heel turned straight to the back edge of the mat. I don't like the foot turned out anymore. We want square hips. The easiest way to have square hips is having all 10 toes pushing forward. All right, inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. How much pressure is in your back foot? Inhale, half lift. Find that pressure in your back foot. And exhale, fold. Do it again. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Hey guys, for any of you who've come online, right, this practice will be available afterwards to watch in full. This is our fun and funky, challenging flow. Let's stop here. Let's go into those cactus arms. And now, can you do it? It's starting to really put pressure on the outside of the hip. So I need you to find your back foot even more. Push, 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 push. Don't let the front leg do all the job. Inhale, lift. And exhale, can you bend both knees? You can pick up the back heel. Inhale, do it again, straighten. Exhale, bend both knees, back heel lifts. Do it again, inhale. Do you want to take it a little deeper? Don't touch the ground with the knee maybe. Right, inhale, lift. I mean, you could do whatever you want, truly. I'm just thinking of safety. One more time, inhale, lift, and exhale. Good, let's grab our blocks. All I really want to do is downward facing dog. So my blocks aren't going to super help me, but I'm going to track my left leg back a little bit more. Now you lose the blocks. Take your arm to the inside. Move that leg. Here we go. So we don't always look graceful in transitions. We do the best we can. Woo! All right, left leg, inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the knee, you bring it into torpedo. Suck it up and in and then plant that foot down. Whoosh. You spin the back heel. The foot's got to come forward, a little bit off to the right. Turn your toe to the front corner of your mat and then check in. Rise. Is the back heel down? Is the front knee over the ankle? These are important. Turn the hips forward and breathe. Here we go. We did this one. Let's do, so we don't have to do the same arm. So we're going to do our antler arm. So you're a 10. I did this one other time. You're like a stag with 10 branches, 10 lobes. What do antlers have? What do deer have? What kind of antlers? 10, a rack? A 10-point rack. Oh, it takes me a while. 10-point rack, right? And then I want you to pretend you're saying hi. You're a deer, stag, and you're kind of saying hi to everyone. You're like, check me out. I got some big antlers on my head. Check me out. Back heel stays down. Right? These arms are just serving to distract us. Let's come here. Oh, I like this one. And then we go to the other side. Again. And inhale, lift. Exhale, melt. Draw your arms forward. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Grabbing blocks. Time to grab blocks and start changing into pyramid pose. Front leg is going to straighten. Back leg is too far back. Bring it forward a little bit. Turn the toes forward. Put some pressure into that leg. Take a breath. So you're in a half lift and exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Did you hear my puppy barking? Exhale. She's a good watchdog. She didn't bark very much, so maybe it's somebody I know. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Who knows Stella? Who loves Stella? Exhale. She's such a cutie patootie. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna push into our feet. We're gonna go into those cactus arms. This is challenging, so be mindful. Your back is not gonna give. Your back is strong and long, shoulders away from yours. Use your legs. Maybe I don't know who's coming. Ooh, scary, scary. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back knee bends. This is what I love about live. There's just nothing you can do about live. What do you do? Stella, stop barking. Stella, come here. Come here. Come here so the people can see you. Come here so they can see how cute you are. And you don't need to bark for those people. No, who is it? Who's here? Are we doing it? Do it with the dog. Can you say hi to everybody? She's throwing my balance off, which might not be a bad thing. Oh, it is Mr. Schroeder. Hi, hun bun. But you don't have to be so quiet. Everybody knows somebody came. Ooh, she ran away. Okay, we're grabbing a hold of those blocks and we're going into down dog. So all I'm gonna do is use the blocks to get my foot back, lose the blocks, return, downward facing dog. Suck your belly button up and in. And let's go ahead and find ourselves moving into pigeon pose. I love pigeon pose with blocks, with props. Right leg is gonna lift. On the exhale, you bring your knee towards your wrist, your foot towards the left side. As you come down into the shin, wiggle, wiggle back. Okay, so I don't need that for now, but I do like a block. Which side would this block go under? Go under the right side, whatever knee is bent. And I tell you what, once I place my left knee down, you'd be amazed how just using a tiny prop, something to make your hips feel comfortable, and you release a lot faster. So I use one for my head and for my hip, and then I start removing them the longer I stay, if my body says it's okay. All right, so here we are. We start up high, royal pigeon. I'm a little bit of a ham today. And then we're gonna take it down a little. So as you start to fold, this is where you really need to support your knee. I feel something happening in that right knee, and this is my good knee, so I'm like, oh. I'm gonna flex my foot, and I'm gonna take my forehead to the block. And then I'm gonna see what my body says. You wanna try to even out the hips, so you don't wanna be too far over to the right side. So with me having the block there, there's no possibility of me going over too far to the right side. That's another great use for the block, I suppose. If everything's feeling good and you want to start to lower down, right? The block is so changeable. This is really important to move in to limit the distractions. This pose can be very intense, right? It doesn't take a long time to injure yourself. It can be just real quick, so be careful, be mindful. And it's a good sciatic stretch. You're stretching into the glute. You feel that on the hamstring connection to the butt as well. So right there, hamstring, butt itself, a little bit inner thigh. And you can also get this really nice opening on the left side. So we're gonna do one more breath. And then what I wanna do is I want us to take our hands underneath our chest and push ourselves up. And this is another moment to pause. So I'm gonna take these blocks and I'm gonna kind of surround myself and I'm gonna get really tall. Look at my neck, right? Long neck. So we're gonna do our royal puffy pigeon, but what I love is this front line opening on the left side. So can you turn your head to the right? Turn your head to the right and just feel this on this long open side. How often is that side get this much of an opening? So I'm putting pressure into my blocks, right? I'm using the blocks, just keeping my neck long. and experiencing this wonderful opening. Last breath. All right, let's go ahead and take ourselves gently into a downward facing dog. Step by step. Tuck the back toes. Place your hands down underneath your shoulders. You're gonna lift with your hips. You lift with your belly, and then reach that right foot high to the sky. You can bend the knee and do some circles. All right, we wanna reestablish a nice flow of fluids going through the hip. All right, let's take that right foot down. You can pedal, right? And then it's left leg. So inhale, lift the left leg. The knee goes to the left wrist, and the foot goes over on the right side of your mat. As you drop down to your right knee, you're gonna walk back. And then you determine a block, a bolster, a rolled up towel, what could go underneath there? Take a breath. You want to feel a little square. And then as you decide to start coming down, check in with your knees. So important. This is my bad knee, so I really check in. And I may not go into a really deep version of this pose. Kind of sad, like my husband took away Stella, and I hear her barking in another room, and I'm not sure why, like where did he go? Being in a family is fun, right? You have to kind of guess what everyone's thinking. All right, so you can remove props if you want. You can keep them for safety. I'm definitely gonna keep the one under my hips to just not put as much pressure on my knee. And I might use this one a little bit. I might just come to this pose. But what am I really trying to do is probably stop thinking about my dog and think about more what I'm feeling. Because it's here, that stretch is here, and it's good because I'm not feeling it in my knee. So this is good. I want to feel the stretch in my glutes, right, in my hamstring. That's fine. Inner thigh, that's fine. All acceptable. One more breath. All right, walk the hands under the shoulders, grab those blocks. I'm going to use the blocks to put pressure into, so they're really aiding me taking weight out of my legs right now. Long neck though, and take some breaths. We're opening up this right front line of the body, and so turn your face to the left side of the room. Breathe. Oh, little Stell bells. She feels left out. That's a bark of, I am not included. Why am I not included? I was happy with mommy in the living room. What happened? I want to take another breath. And this is why sometimes home practice is difficult, because just stuff starts to happen. You're like, okay, and then I break my practice. So I'm truly doing these online classes for you guys and because this is what makes me stay. Otherwise, I'd probably get up and stop, or I'd be like, what's wrong with the dog? I'm gonna go get the dog. So I'm gonna control that urge, place my hands down. As I tuck my back toes and lift my knee, lift your hips, 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 hips. Send that left foot up to the ceiling, bend the knee, and circle. And reverse. All right, let's take that knee down. Woo. I'm gonna take my hands to one side, feet go to the other side, and we come onto the hip. Woo! All right, is anyone practicing with me? I think one person, maybe. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is sit up on these blocks. You don't have to, but I've gotten used to it. So that's how I like to do it, is sitting on my blocks. And then I'm very, I like comfort. Ankle support. Sweetie, the dog's just barking away back there, yeah? Thank you. Barking, barking, barking. Okay. I saw him. I thought, ha, go get the dog. Okay, so I don't know if you have a strap. Maybe no strap. Let's not do strap. No strap. Tuck chin towards chest. Right ear over to right shoulder. Dip that chin down in front, travel on. Right, back and forth, we're gonna go. How comfortable are you here? Right, again, always a seated position does not mean crossed legs. I want you to do the seated position that works for you. Last time. All right, let's bring that chin back to center, blink the eyes and gaze forward. We'll extend the feet. Why not? And guess what? I'll come off my blocks. We'll just do that now. So I'm going to come off my blocks. You can stay on your blocks if you want. I'm just going to come off. We're going to have our legs out in front of us. So I want you to bounce your knees just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to have our feet and knees about like 6 inches apart. And I want you to activate your knees so you're pushing your legs down into the earth. So you're trying to look like the letter L, which is really hard to do, you know. Letter L, once you've locked your knees, it doesn't let the spine and the hip be very mobile. So be gentle and kind to yourself. What we don't want to see is just over trying and it's like stressed out, right? So you're trying, and then maybe you got to put the little bend in the knee. We will be bending them anyways, but if you, to have that spine is more important to be straight than the knees pushing down. How about that? All right, so we're gonna do this one. So what we're gonna do, this one, the one I know, this one. You're gonna bend your right knee. As you do, your right arm, left hand is connected. You're gonna reach up to your right arm and twist. Your hand is like a big rainbow, so let it go towards the ground. Your eyes can follow. Inhale as you lift up. Bend both knees and forward fold. Empty that breath completely. On an inhale, it's the opposite side. So I'm gonna straighten the right leg, use my right hand, and big arcing movement. Eyes to follow. Inhale, lift. Both knees are gonna bend and we fold. Inhale, right arm. Twist. I'm using that front arm to help gain that purchase to twist. Exhale. There's probably a better word for that. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do it again. Take it at your own pace. Which one? This. There. Last one. And fold. Can you grab a hold of your feet no matter how much you have to bend your knees and just allow the belly to make its way to the thighs. So if you have to bend your knees a lot to do that, here you are here. Don't be too worried about it. That's what it would look like. Right? I want no space there. Okay, so however that looks. Sounds like a warning, right? I'd say this isn't really yoga music. Okay, so we're gonna bend that left knee. I'm gonna turn back to the front of the room. If you have something, I really don't want hard ground under your knee. So a pillow, a towel, a blanket. And this foot is going to be inner right thigh, or it's gonna be out here. Whatever it feels better in the joint. That was literally part of the song, don't even ask me. Flex that foot, inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. This kind of folding is trying to not round the spine. So I'd like your belly to move forward first. Ooh. Soften the groin of that left leg. Patience and kindness. My daughters hate it when I talk about them. One of my daughters, not to be named, is like, I just want to have the splits. And I've never known her to try before yesterday. She wants the splits in like one day. And she's not very flexible. So it's hard. We all have that desire. Once we have it in our mind to do something, we want to attain it. And then there's some of us who've been practicing for a while and we still feel like we want to be more flexible. The truth of the matter is we don't need more flexibility. If you've been practicing for a while and that's where you're at, that's just the perfect amount for you. Let's have a little bit of fun with stargazer. So this pillow is underneath this knee for a reason. I want you to point your long right toe. I want you to take your left hand behind you to the ground. This right arm is going to sweep sideways, horizontal. All right, plant that back hand, point your fingers away, and inhale, lift your hips. All right, do a little back bend, and exhale, come back. This is called stargazer, right? Inhale, turn your eyes up, and exhale. Let's do one more round. Inhale, and exhale. Hands behind you. I miss all my students. We all miss, right, our regular daily life. And it hasn't even been that long yet. It just shows you how important human connection is, really. Bend that right knee. Let's not get all sappy. Let's just keep soldiering on. Flex that left foot. Again, support under the knee for when we do our stargazer. But right now, inhale, lift. It's the belly that leads the way. Belly, belly, belly. And exhale, fold. Soften, soften, soften. Release those expectations. Don't try too hard. This is where we don't keep the effort. We relax. That's why we're relaxing, is we're not trying, right? We're just like, okay, here we are. Patience, kindness. Last breath. Bring yourself back up. Right arm goes back. I hope I said the correct arms last time. Left arm is going to go for horizon. You got to have your palm open, fingers facing back. Inhale and exhale. Let's go. Right, inhale. Let's come back. Point those toes and exhale. Right, inhale and exhale. Okay, bring those hips back down to the earth. And I want you to start to adjust yourself onto your back. Coming to the end of practice. Time to say a little round of hooray, hurrah. As you bring your head down, draw the knees into the chest, have some room in between them. And maybe the first thing you do is just grab a hold of the knees or the back of the thighs and let your knees fall open. So try to relax your shins as best you can. Take a couple breaths and feed them straight into the groin. Bend and straighten your elbows, trying not to limit the knees. Sometimes we bring them in. I see that quite often, this uncertainty. Right? If you can just relax the groin, let it hang out, let those knees hang out at their widest point, and get a really nice lubrication to the outside of the hip joint, and also to the groin, getting that nice stretch to the groin. Hi, Stella, you're back. Oh, did you come and get you? Hi, honey. All right, one more breath. You want to be my pillow? Come here, you want to be my pillow? All right, let's take our toes together. Our arms are going to go wide. And you're going to take your knees over to one side of the room. Turn your head to the other side of the room. See, the more I love I give her, she wants to lick me more. Let's bring those knees back to center and over to the other side. Come here. She's such a cutie. Come here. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. And then you just start to go from side to side on your own. can tell it's towards the end of the practice because now all the pets are out. Now the cat's joining us. I don't have any goats to add into the mix, so I apologize for not having some goat yoga available, but you know, we have the puppy, the dog yoga, we have the kitty cat tail that's just swinging by. Alright, let's come back to center. Now we have some playful action. I want you to widen your feet and knock your knees together. I want you to take your arms, sweep them up and over your head, and you're going to grab a hold of the opposite arm. You could grab your elbows if that's comfortable. You could grab your forearm or even just attach the hands or the wrists, right? So ask the shoulder. Don't ask your mind. Don't ask that expectation of, well, she said elbows, so I'm going to hug the elbows. That's the hardest one. Maybe that's just not what the body, what the shoulders need today. Right? I think we did a good job. I think we worked hard. Give yourself love. I'm picking the easiest option. And these sinking exhales, these big, almost bigger exhales than inhales, and just, oh. We want the spine to soften and to just draw closer to Mother Earth. Let's reach our hands up and behind the head so they separate. And you can tuck the tail, just give a little glute squeeze, tuck your cheeks together, and reach those arms back behind you. And then on the exhale, I just want you to draw your arms out to the side. And let's switch the feet up. I want the feet together, knees open. So we're switching the legs up, really. Now what can be really nice here is a supported bound angle. So what I do is I just use the blocks and I support the edges of the knees. You can do it any way you want. I get real picky. I try to put my blocks at angles. This might be really hard to see, so best you can. So in other words, there's nothing going to be sharp pushing into my thigh. So I just place them right there on the outside of the legs. Now I've got my arms out wide. And I've made it a little less than my full knee opening. I'm not trying to dump all the way open. I actually want my knees open, but not as wide as they could go. It feels really comfortable. Turn the head a little bit from side to side. Right, blink your eyes. Maybe rub your thumb on your other fingers. Get a sense of the physical self. Right, there's so many different draining elements going on in life. Stay as you are. I'm coming up to seated just so I can end the practice. As always, I would love for you to be able to stay in this position or find yourself into a nice, beautiful corpse pose, Shavasana, and just take a moment. Take a moment. Your body's in a great place to heal. It's in a great place to rest. Right? And again, there's so much that is drawing from us. There's so much that is taking energy and zapping it from us. Right? We need to be here for each other. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I hope to connect with you in some way, shape, or form. Thanks again for practicing with me, and namaste. From Stella, too. See, Stella came to say goodnight. You're so cute, Stella.